How's it going, everyone? It's Dusty Tucker. How's it going, everybody? It's Dusty Tucker. I'm gonna hop right into this video. It's probably gonna be a little bit shorter than most if I don't get too sidetracked, but we'll see what happens. So this is gonna be update number 3 for my SRV2 Siberian by Black Creek Labs. I know the ammo counts are getting a little tedious for you guys. Maybe, well, I don't think you guys in the US care too much about this gun. There's a lot better guns in the US than there is Canada right now with our bans and all of our bullshit. But in Canada, this video is mostly for my Canadian fellow LARPers or sheepdogs or outstanding citizens. I don't know what to call them exactly because they're all over the place with how they are and how they be and their morals and everything. So anyways, without any further bullshit, one upgrade that I got with this is the grip. It's not the color I wanted, but the gun's getting painted anyways, so I don't care. I scored this for $10 at an auction. This is there's a base plate on here that I'm gonna have extra optic batteries and light batteries that can store in the grip, so that's nice. Obviously, it'll be wrapped in some kind of cloth so it doesn't rattle around, you know, that type of thing. There's nothing really else new. I still haven't gotten the paratrooper clip that I want to get for this rifle yet. I'll get it at some point. I'm finally over 500 rounds, and I know some of you guys, that's it, 500 rounds, that's not really a good test, but I'm trying to be as progressive as possible with updating you guys with information to help you understand more of what's out there for Canadian law-abiding, blah, 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 citizens and such. So yeah, just the one new upgrade. It's just a Magpul, just a grip. I like that it has a beaver tail on it, and this rifle is compatible with Magpul hand grips, in case you didn't know that. The little beaver tail here, it's a nice comfort. I do really like that. It really feels good in the hands. Nice and squishy. I'm a little skeptical of painting it because it might become, it might become a little bit tacky or something, but there's a few things I want to do to this yet before I go too far into this video. The trigger guard, I don't know if you can see this or not, but the trigger guard has a really aggressive point here where you can take this bar off. I don't know what it's called. Don't kill me for not knowing. I know that you want to, if you're going to shoot this in the winter and you want to have gloves on, big beefy gloves, you want to be able to access the trigger, so you can take this trigger guard out. But I'm actually going to shave a little bit of metal off on here on both sides just for quality of life purposes, nothing crazy, because when I'm doing maneuvers and stuff like that, it digs into the fingers quite a bit. It's just a quality of life thing, like I said, so it's a little bit of a modification that I'm going to do. There's also the big reason I want to make this video for you guys is because of the BCG, the firing pin retaining pin has continuously been an issue for me. Now I don't have, like I say, I'm not like a huge YouTube influencer or somebody that has large access of donations or money or anything of that sort. So I can't just get buckets of 5.56 and pump it through this rifle to do a really durable test. I don't have the money for that. In case you're watching this from the States, 5.56, one round of 5.56 is about $1.16 a round now, and it's getting a little bit ridiculous, which is why I'm going to load it. But I can't really show you guys that because YouTube's guidelines and blah, blah, blah. So basically, the main point of this video and why I'm making it is because of the BCG, the firing pin retaining pin. I have put 3 separate pins in there and they keep walking out. So I was at with patience end, and I said that's enough. It's going to keep causing issues down the road. I'm going to make a permanent solution for it, and that's why I'm making this video. The rifle has been performing fine. everything has been good. Everything's solid. It's a good firearm. It works. It's as far as it's it's been reliable, minus that one weak point. I've addressed it. At least I thought I addressed it, and it's still becoming an issue. So I have done a permanent solution. Well, yeah, I'll call it a permanent solution. So I'm going to share that with you guys now. So first of all, I need a dummy round. Yes, it's unloaded. If you can see it, you're just going to have to trust me if you can't see it. I like using the dummy round for taking down the rifle. It just makes it a hell of a lot easier. Push that one out. So my little retaining pins for the full assembly are broken. So this comes out in not just one piece anymore. It comes out in a few pieces, but there's a trick. If you want to still bring it all out in one piece, what you do is you let the guide rods come back. You grab them, you back it with the web of your hand. You put it back here. You squeeze, and you squeeze together the rods all together, and this should come out as one solid unit. If you break the firearm open nice and clearly, you shouldn't have an issue. Nice and slow. Just take it out nice and slow. So here's the BCG. Now I'm going to have to pull the guide rods out. There are the little retaining snap rings. They shear off so fast. And yes, they're nice and oiled, as they should be. Nice and clean and oiled and free of debris. You got to treat this thing like your child, okay? That's how you keep it running smooth and clear. So I'm going to try to do a forward-facing camera table type thing. Just bear with me so you guys can see a lot better, okay? So bear with me. Okay, so here's the BCG. I'm going to change resolution here. Okay, so yes, there's a little bit of scoring here. That was caused by my Dremel, and it's honestly not even actually scoring. We'll get really close here. Okay, so yeah, it's not even gouged into the metal. I can't even feel anything. I just basically took a little bit of finish off. And what you can see there is it's not your typical retaining pin, right? Let me come out here a little bit. I'll flip it around so you can get a look at this side. This side may look like, okay, he's got whatever, a regular pin in there or whatever you want to call it. So basically what I did was I took a spring pin, not a roll pin. A roll pin might work if you mushroom both ends, fine. But I took a pin, like a center punch, and the old one came out so easily. I could almost just push it out with my hands without even tapping it. In fact, I have a friend who that exactly happened to his. I basically was going to do the same job I did with mine to his, and I could just push it right out with just using the punch on its own. So that's no good when you can just move it that easily. This guy is basically I call them spring pins. They're not quite roll pins. They aren't rolled. It's kind of like they're made of spring steel, and they push out. So basically what I did was I found one that gave me some resistance as I started tapping it in. And once I was tapping it in, oh sure, now I get good resolution or good lighting. Once I was tapping it in, I could feel that it was not going in very easily, but it was not going in, it wasn't taking too hard to punch it in. So basically what I did was, it was a rod about maybe a little bit, that just hit the floor. I was going to use one of these, but I decided against it. I would have to really get rid of the material here, and there's not enough room there in the little bubble for it. So I basically just used a spring pin. We'll call it a spring pin. It's kind of got a little, looks like a C. And basically I tapped it in until it was all the way through on the one side, and then I took a cutoff wheel. Once I pushed it in this way, I took a cutoff wheel with a Dremel tool, cut it off just a little bit sticking out. And then I took a counter, not really a punch, but I guess you could call it a center punch, because the center punch has a fine point and then it has a little bit of a taper coming out. And basically I put that in the middle, and I used the taper basically putting something solid on the other side, like I put a piece of steel. What I did was take a couple of flat bars, laid them on top of each other so that it would make up the room for this little inlet here on the side. And then I put it in the middle, and I basically mushroomed this side first, and then I flipped it around, and I spread it out a little bit on this side too to basically help it so it doesn't walk out. And then when I did that on both sides, I took the same punch that I took to push the regular one out. I hope that I'm explaining this somewhat adequate for you guys. Basically, so I took the pin punch, and I tried tapping it out, and I couldn't get it to easily tap out like I could the stock pin. It was moving, but it took a decent amount of force. So I know that it's going to be in there good. And I've shot, I know it's not much. Some of you guys are going to bitch. Here, just let me come back to you guys here. This is going to be all like unedited and kind of gross and stuff, so I apologize. But I don't care, because I'm trying to help you guys out. I don't care how awesome editing and, you know, having videographers and stuff stepping in to make it all music and fantastic and bullshit. I don't give a shit. I'm just going to give it to you raw, how it should be, raw dogging it. So after mushrooming both ends, I shot about just over 100 rounds. Now, normally when I shoot about 100 rounds out of this rifle, that retaining pin it'll be maybe a couple thousandths of an inch out. Like, it won't be flush, it'll be pushing out just a little bit, like enough that you can feel it, you know? Enough to worry me, basically. So I want it to be in there for good, for good. So it's in there good now, and I've shot maybe just over 100 rounds, and nothing has walked out. It hasn't even started to walk out. So I think we have a awesome fix here. I don't know why Black Creek Labs cannot figure this out, because this issue is very common with these rifles, and a lot of people don't have the patience to figure out what's wrong with the gun. Basically, it sucks, it's not working, sell it, get rid of it, and buy something new. If it's something as simple as a pin, we're talking a spring pin here, a 50-cent or less spring pin to push in there, mushroom both ends so it doesn't walk out. Now, don't get me wrong, if I want to move this pin and replace the firing pin or take it out to clean it or whatever, it will move. It'll just take a little more effort than it would that POS pin that came with the gun from factory, okay? So I just wanted to get that off my chest, okay? So, yes, the guide rods are the little snap rings, we'll call them. They're very piss poor quality. They're not the best quality, but it is what it is. I'll take it, you know, if I can. I'll take it as I can get it. I'm not going to be able to do this on camera for you guys because it's not going to be that easy to do this with one hand. I'll try and do this on my lap while I, you know, talk a little bit. So don't let that deter you. If you hear lots of people talking shit about this this rifle just because of that reason, don't let that deter you from purchasing this rifle. I can't do this. I have poor lighting and everything right now. This isn't going to work out for me. So not everybody's perfect. Just do what you can in the meantime, right? Just do what you can. This thing's going to be a pain in the ass. Here, I think I got it. Sorry that took so long. I know I look like a fucking amateur, but whatever. So there we go. Now we are back in operation. We have no more retaining pin issues. We have no more bullshit problems. We can run this gun, and I'm going to run it without even touching that. And I want to see if it does walk out. If it does walk out, I'll make sure that I update this video or update with a new video explaining what happened, what I did, yada, yada, yada. But for now, this looks like a pretty good fix. If you don't have access to spring pins, man, go to any machine shop or something. They'll have something. Like basically I just went to my mechanic shop and said, hey, do you got some pins? I went through all the whirl pins, the roll pins. I don't really want to do a roll pin. You could try a roll pin if you mushroom the ends enough, but the roll pins are usually just iron soft rolled pins. These are spring steel, so I kind of trust that a little bit better. I'm hoping that if you go through a mag dump or 2 or 3, that it doesn't soften the steel in the spring and then have it walk out. But I'm gonna maybe try that one day once I acquire a bulk amount of 5.56. I'll actually be able to test it, and I won't just shoot it at a bench slowly. I'll actually do sideways to try to manipulate it to move if I can. But anyways, that's pretty much all I got for this video. I hope you guys found what you were looking for. If you didn't, make a comment. If you want to see anything about this rifle, I will try to show you as best as I possibly can. This paracord has held up very well so far. Mind you, I haven't done the test that I want to do yet, which is taking it out to Crown Land for a day or 2 and doing an actual hardcore test with it. That'll come yet. I'm thinking I'm going to try to do that in the fall, and I'll try to record some of it at least. But the problem is when I'm up there, I get so in the moment that I kind of forget to, break out my phone and make a little video. But I should probably, try and do that once in a while at least. But so far so good. We'll see how it holds up. Seems to be fine, but like I said, I might just grind this down a little bit. It's a little bit sharp, and if you're maneuvering your firearm through, if you're doing some close quarters training and stuff like that, at the low ready, going from low ready to shoulder all the time. I just mashed my table, whatever. If you're going from low ready to, snapping into the shoulder, sometimes it digs in a little harder than you want it to be, but I'm not saying maybe I am just a bitch, but I don't know. There's also people out there that say this rifle's too heavy, so maybe they're a bitch too. So I don't know which way you want to read me on it, but so it's quality rifle. I think it's solid. If you do that upgrade to the firing pin, you should be set for quite a while. I have high hopes for it. Anyways, the flashlight's still holding up strong. All the attachments and everything seem to be good so far. The optic hasn't. It's held 0. And in my accuracy video that I did, that was after it had taken a few bumps and falls in my closet and everything. So, and it still held 0 through that, which is awesome. I love the fact that it has a built-in flared magwell. Not that you really need a flared magwell for like a AR or 180 platform, but it helps. It does help. If you're choking up to do a reload, let's say your sling's in the way or something's in the way, you can still get to it relatively quick. I know that wasn't the best example, but whatever. You can still get to it pretty quick. So I think after maybe another couple 100 rounds or 2, I might actually go through with it and give it a paint job. We'll see what happens. I have to figure out what kind of paint job I want to do to it and all that jazz first. But so far it's holding up pretty good. I haven't shot it in a little bit now. I've been trying to conserve ammunition for our field training day that we're going to do, because I'm going to end up burning probably 200-300 or more rounds that day, or that 2 days that we do our outdoor training event, do our whatever, that we do a little bit of LARPing in the woods. Then I'm trying to save ammo for that. So don't bitch at me for not having this thing at 1,000 rounds yet. I'll get there eventually. I'm a blue collar guy. I can't afford to buy ammo like that. So I hope you guys found what you were looking for. SRV2 Siberian, the BCG upgrade. I don't know what I'm going to call this video, but we'll find out when I decide to edit it and post it. So until next time, Dusty Techer signing out. Keep shooting, keep training, keep practicing, and push-ups.